Welcome to Euclide Academy. In this video, we are going to revise the GCE Biology Paper 1 2022. This paper was recently done and we just want to revise and see how we can attempt the questions and what answers we can give. So we just go directly to the questions, and this paper 1 has got 40 marks and the time is 50 minutes. So as I always advise my students is that it's very important to check on the time when you are writing the exam or whatever paper you're writing, and then compare it with the marks that you have. So in this paper you've got 50 minutes and you've got 40 marks, so you have to divide your time. Roughly you have about 1 minute or 60 seconds for each question. So if you can do that, you'll be well within the space of actually doing very well, because if you can answer all the questions in 40 minutes, that means you've got 10 minutes extra, which is very important. I always advise my student to leave 10 minutes extra to go through the paper and go through your details and make sure everything is in order. That 10 minutes you should always put it aside. So let's jump into it. Question number 1: which of the following lists contains only non-living things in an environment? So we know that living things carry out about 7 processes, that is movement, respiration, we've got growth, nutrition, excretion, and reproduction. So they are the things which do not carry out these things which I've mentioned are non-living things. So here the correct answer will be D. You've got sunlight, water, soil. So these are the non-living things which are in an environment. So worms, mushrooms, snails, grass, so these are living things. Then we jump to the second question. The diagram shows a light microscope. So this is a light microscope that we have here, and which of the labeled parts moves the objective lenses quickly up and down and brings into focus the image under the lower power magnification? So this is a light microscope, and there are a few parts which have been shown here. This is the coarse adjustment for A, what we call the adjusting knob, and then this is the fine adjustment, and then you have got the stage. So the ones that you use to move the lenses quickly, okay, so that you've got A and B, you can confuse between these two. So if you want to move the lenses quickly up and down, you use the coarse adjustment, okay, also known as the adjusting knob, which is A. And then B is known as the fine adjustment. It's definitely that to fine-tune or to give you the fine details. So this is the fine adjustment, and A is the coarse adjustment. So it's the one which we use to quickly find your way around the specimen. So A is the correct answer here. We go to 3. Diagram shows an animal cell. So this is an animal cell, and definitely this is a sperm cell. Which of the following components of a cell is not found in the cell? Components of a cell is not found in the cell. This cell, what is not found in this cell? Cell membrane. This is an animal cell, and basically all cells have got cell membranes, so it does have a cell membrane. Chloroplast. Cytoplasm, it does have a cytoplasm. Nucleus, it does have a nucleus, but it doesn't have chloroplast, because chloroplast has to do with green things, green plants. So this one here, the answer was B. So this one is not found in there. The diagram shows the activity of salivary amylase, pancreatic lipase, and stomach protease at different pH values. So you've got enzyme activity and you've got the pH down here. Okay, so we've got the pH basically talks about the basicity of acidity of a solution or whatever chemical you're looking at, or substance. So here we've got 1 up to 12, and then the enzyme activity we've got about 3 enzymes here. We've got protease, lipase, and the amylase here. So our focus, we're going to look at the question which says, from the graph, what is the optimum pH value for the enzyme protease? So protease is what we are focused on, or what we should focus on. We don't look at the pancreatic lipase and the salivary amylase here. So we'll go to the protease here, and you can see the optimum pH value for the enzyme protease. Optimum means the best value, which means the value at which the activity is the highest. If you see this is the graph of protease, you're going up and up and up and up and up until you reach this point, and that's when it drops. So this is the highest, this is the optimum point. And what value do you get down from there? Okay, we get somewhere 2 point something or 2. My line, it is not very straight there, but it should be somewhere around 2. So from the graph, what is the optimum pH value for the enzyme protease? That is 2.0. The table shows 4 tests carried out to investigate the presence of reducing sugar in an apple fruit. Okay, so we've got the method, and then we've got the result observation. So the question is, which of the tests shows a positive result? Positive result for reducing sugar is that first of all, what method do we use to test for reducing sugar? So for reducing sugar to test, we use the Benedict reagent or Benedict solution, and that is what we use. And it tends, there's a color change from blue to brick red or orange. Okay, so we have a blue, green, yellow, red to orange or brick red. So this is the method and the observation for a positive test. Burette reagent is used for protein. Emulsion test, it is for fat. Iodine solution test, okay, it is for starch. This is for fat or lipids. Question 6. Which of the following is a disorder resulting from lack of proteins in a diet of a child? So we know that has to be kwashiorkor. Okay, that is the disorder which results from a lack of proteins in the diet of a child. And obesity is about eating too much, and anemia should be iron, and rickets should be one of the vitamins, should be D or so. Number 7. A pregnant woman was advised at the hospital to eat food containing adequate amount of iron. What is the importance of iron in the diet of a pregnant woman? So iron helps in the process of transporting oxygen around the body, and that process is done by blood, and the component of blood which plays a very important role in carrying oxygen around the body is the hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is basically made by the help of iron. So formation of hemoglobin for the fetus. So you need a lot of blood if you're going to carry a child or the fetus. So that this woman will need a lot of blood. Hence, she was advised to eat food containing large amount of iron for formation of hemoglobin for the fetus. What are the functions of magnesium and nitrogen ions in plants? So magnesium, nitrogen ions is mainly related with the formation of amino acids, or which as a result are going to make proteins. So we have to relate nitrogen ions to proteins and magnesium to formation of chlorophyll. So this is the answer. So the way that I'm answering these questions, I usually like to use a method I call elimination method when you want to answer multiple choice questions. whereby you eliminate the not so obvious answers, and then you remain with the answers which are very obvious, and that will limit the chances of actually picking the wrong answer. Now let me demonstrate it in the next question. The following is which is question 9. The following is the dental formula of a dog. Okay, so this is the dental formula of a dog. How many premolars are there in the mouth of this dog? So how many premolars are there in the mouth of this dog? So here you have got the ones which are on top and the ones which are down. But remember, this is just on one part of the jaw. So when we look at the premolars, which is here, we've got 4 and 4 there, meaning on one side on top we've got 4, and then on one side down we've got 4. Okay, now two sides for those, so you got another 4 on the second side and another 4 on the other side. Okay, so which gives you 16. Okay, and this one is 16. So how many premolars are there in the mouth of this dog? Okay, so premolars are 16 because you've got ones on top and the ones down. So 4 in actual sense, you've got 4 times 2 8, 4 times 2 8, plus 8 plus 8 gives you 16. The diagram illustrates the movement of a bolus of food through the esophagus. Okay, so movement of a bolus is a bolus. Okay, there's this wavy structure in the esophagus. This process is referred to as, okay, so the process where there's this rhythmic movement, it is actually called peristalsis. Okay, so it is peristalsis because this one you just go direct to the answer. This peristalsis. It also happens in bowel movement in the small intestine. It's not just in the esophagus. Okay, so they move by peristalsis. Question 11. Which of the following is not an effect of an ailment of the liver? Which of the following is not an effect of an ailment of the liver? So ailment of the liver helps with excretion or removing toxic substances from the body. Okay, so if the liver is damaged, we don't expect the excretion process to happen smoothly. Therefore, we expect a number of complications such as high toxin levels in the blood. But if you have low toxin levels in the blood, that means your liver is fine. So C is not an effect of an ailment of the liver. Low toxins levels in the blood. Poor bowel formation is an effect. Low blood pressure is an effect. High blood sugar is an effect. Which of the following occurs during inhalation in fish? So when the fish is inhaling, it has to get water into the mouth, and then the operculum, which should be closed, and then the floor of the mouth should allow water to go in. So you can't raise the floor because that won't allow water to go in. So already D and C are eliminated. So that is what I mean by elimination. So you have A and B. So operculum closed, floor of the mouth lowered, so it's either A or B. So pressure inside the mouth, that is what we have to fight on now. So pressure inside the mouth, if the pressure is high inside the mouth, then that means water will run out. Okay, if the pressure is reduced, that means water will come in. So A should be the correct answer. The following apparatus was set up to investigate one of the products of respiration. So here you've got the setup. You've got air inside, comes in this flask here where the sodium hydroxide solution, and then it goes out into here where we have lime water, flask X, and then goes out, and here we've got green plant with some black pepper there. Okay, then here we've got lime water, flask Y, and then out the air goes. The question is, what would happen to the lime water in flask X and Y when the pump is switched on. So here, when air comes into this flask, it meets sodium hydroxide. And what is the job of sodium hydroxide? The job of sodium hydroxide, or the property of sodium hydroxide, is that it removes carbon dioxide from air, or it absorbs carbon dioxide. So we expect this air not to have carbon dioxide, and as it comes here, we don't expect this lime water to do anything because there's no carbon dioxide, and the test for carbon dioxide, we know that it makes lime water to be cloudy. So X, we expect it to remain clear. And then, so A, B already are eliminated. We've got C and D. So once it goes in here, air doesn't have carbon dioxide. But remember, in here we've got a green plant. And remember, we talked about living things carrying out respiration. So this plant carries out respiration. And respiration is a process by which these organisms produce energy, okay, by burning up food. So this energy produces a waste product, which is carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is produced here, which of course is mixed with the air and then comes into this one. So here we're going to have carbon dioxide from this green plant, and this one will be cloudy. So C, stays clear, becomes cloudy, will be the option. Which of the following are symptoms of a disease? So symptoms of a disease are those which you basically feel yourself if you are a patient, or you are aware of them, but they are not quite observable by another person or a doctor. For example, body weight loss. Someone can observe that you are actually you've lost weight, and people say you've lost weight. So it's not a symptom, it's a sign. Coughing, body weight loss is the same situation. Diarrhea, vomiting, high is the same situation. But headache, toothache, and high body temperature is only you who can feel or be aware of these things. So these are symptoms. They're not easily recognizable. And then we've got question 15. Diagram shows a cross section of a stem and a root of a plant. So this is a stem, and then we've got a stem and a root of a plant. Stem and a root. Okay. Which of the following correctly identifies the parts of the plant? Okay. So this one, Y has to be a dicot root, not a monocot root. So Y has to be a dicot root, and X is a dicot stem, because we look at the structure of you've got the xylem and the phloem there, and the way they are spaced or arranged. So this is a dicot root, and this is a dicot stem, which is A, not the other way around. The diagram shows components of blood. Okay, what are the functions of these components of blood? So P, Q, and R. So P is the red blood cells, and the job is to transport oxygen, as we've mentioned in the earlier question. And then Q is the white blood cell, and this one engulfs pathogens, okay, or bacteria. And then R produces antibodies, okay, which helps to fight infections. So this is transport oxygen, engulf pathogens, produce antibodies. So C would be the correct option here. We dive into 17. Which of the following is the function of lymph nodes? Which of the following is the function of lymph nodes? So lymph nodes produce white blood cells. So the one which would qualify is that they prevent diseases, which is C. 18. The diagram shows the structure of a kidney tuber. Which of these correctly identifies where ultrafiltration, reabsorption, and osmoregulation occur? Okay, so we talk about ultrafiltration. It happens in the glomerulus. That is capsules is where we have ultrafiltration, and then it goes, and then we have the glomerular filtrate, which contains some important substances which are needed back in the blood, and they are reabsorbed. That's why. And then we've got the osmoregulation, which is regulated by the hypothalamus, and that occurs at Z, which controls the amount of water in urine. Basically, this is happens at Z. So we've got X, Y, Z. So ultrafiltration, reabsorption, and osmoregulation would be the correct option here, which is X, okay, X, then Y, then Z there. Diagram shows the human skin. So this is the human skin. We've got the structure M and structure N and O. What happens to the parts labeled M, N, and O on a cold day in order to regulate body temperature? So what would happen on a cold day? Let us look at O. O produces sweat, so we do not expect these glands to actually produce sweat. So we actually talked about this in our online lessons, and we do have online lessons available for you if you would like to have further information or further help. And those lessons, they happen from Monday to Friday, and we do take you all the topics from the first topic to the last topic in biology, and we equip you fully for your examination. And we've got a lot of people with positive feedback and who have actually been helped by these online lessons. So all you have to do is find the number below. There'll be a link to a WhatsApp chat, or you can actually send us a WhatsApp message, and we'll give you the details on how you can join the online classes for basically a small fee. So that is how you can get further help, and I would recommend you to join the online classes. They're very, very helpful. A lot of our students have found us to be very helpful and really positive. So in here, back to this question, O on a cold day does not produce sweat. And then what happens to the blood flow? So there has to be less blood moving through the blood vessels, so we expect M to be constricted or to constrict. M constricts, and then we expect N to actually to contract, or to the erector muscles, the hair erector muscles, to contract so that they actually erect the these hairs, or the hair here. So this will be A. The diagram shows glands of the endocrine system. So these are the glands of the endocrine system. What is the name and function of the hormone produced in the structure W? So W is the thyroid gland, which produces thyroxine and is important in regulating the metabolic rate of the body. So this is D, thyroxine, which comes from thyroid gland. And we have the diagram shows a section of the human brain. So we've got what we call, when it comes to the brain, we've got two main parts. We've got what we call the hindbrain and the forebrain. So the hindbrain brain is made of the medulla and the cerebellum, which helps to control balance and coordination for the hindbrain, and the forebrain is more of memory, personality, just like the conscious part. So which of the part is responsible for reasoning? So the forebrain should be responsible for reasoning, and the part is the cerebrum, which is A. So that should be our option here. So it's a cerebrum. Deafness can be best prevented by, so in this one here, clearly with hard materials, definitely we can eliminate this. Doesn't seem to be the correct one. Listening to loud music also can be eliminated. Cleaning ears regularly with soft materials. Okay, so it is not advisable to clean your ears because the ears are said to be self-cleaning organs. Okay, they're able to clean themselves. So I think the answer which bestly suit this question would be D, listening to soft music regularly. So I think I will go for D. Let me know what you would go with in the comment section below, which one you think is the best, but I will go for D. Cleaning ears regularly with soft materials, because the ear is a self-cleaning organ, so you're basically discouraged when it comes to cleaning your ears. Okay, you don't really have to clean your ears. Your ears can clean themselves. Okay, not advised. So I think D is the one I will go for. So let me know what you would go for in the comment section below. Which of the following correctly compares a ball and socket joint and a hinge joint? So ball and socket joint, and then a hinge joint. So when we talk about a ball and socket joint, the movement is that it allows movement in about 360 degrees or 3 planes. Then the hinge joint allows movement in one plane. So here says allows movement in all planes. Okay, fair enough. Allows movement in one plane for the hinge joint. So A will be the correct option here. Allows movement in all planes and allows movement in one plane for the hinge joint. When light is switched on in a dark room where there are cockroaches, the cockroaches move away from light and quickly hide in dark places. This is an example of, so they're moving away, so it's negative, and the term is phototaxis. So that is negative phototaxis. The diagram shows a longitudinal section through a monocot seed. Okay, so that is a monocot seed. Which of the parts is not present in a dicot seed? So this is a monocot seed, and for example we can say one example of a monocot seed is the maize cone. So then the dicot, you can talk about the bean seed. So what they do not have is this thing, which is the endosperm, is A. So this part is not available in a dicot seed, the endosperm. Then you've got the cotyledon, B, the plumule, the radicle. Okay, so all these are present in both monocot and dicot, apart from the endosperm. The diagram shows stages of asexual reproduction in yeast. What type of asexual reproduction is illustrated in the diagram? So in yeast, this one is actually called budding, where you have like a bud which is being formed from the parent cell, and then they develop where we've got 2 daughter cells from one parent cell. So this is budding from yeast. So yeast carry out asexual reproduction, and the type is budding. Which of these plant parts can be used during vegetative reproduction? So with vegetative reproduction, and we use the bud. So that would be B. Diagram shows a longitudinal section of a flower, which parts will continue growing after fertilization has taken place. So we've got the ovules, which develop into seeds, and the ovary, which develops into a fruit. So we've got 4 and 3. We'll go for D. Will continue growing after fertilization has taken place. Which of the methods of seed or fruit dispersal carries the seeds the shortest distance? So that is self. And then we got 30. Diagram shows the female reproductive system and its associated structures. We've got A, B, C, and D. Which labeled part identifies where implantation occurs? So implantation occurs, no, that's A, not B. Okay, that would be the uterus, so which is C. 31. Which of the following is not a cause of infertility in human beings? What is not the cause of infertility in human beings? So alcoholism kills sperm count, even smoking, heavy smokers and heavy drinkers. So this can cause infertility. Blocked oviduct, yes. Ovulation disorder, yes. Poor nutrition, not really. So this will be the answer on D. And then we go to 32. What method of birth control affects the normal function of hormones? So the birth control which affects the normal function of hormones: condom, no. The IUD, no. Tube ligation, no. So that would be contraceptives. Which stage of mitosis is illustrated in the diagram? So A, we've got anaphase, metaphase, prophase, and telophase. So at this stage we can see that the sister chromatids have been pulled apart, and basically this is almost done, and the cells are just individual cells are forming, or the daughter cells are forming, and this is the final stage. So it should be the telophase. 2 individuals who had normal skin color had a child who was an albino. What is the probability that they will have another child who is an albino? So basically it seems like they were all carriers, and we know that this is recessive, so it could be they had this child was not a carrier, and this child wasn't a carrier, was a carrier but didn't actually show, and then for this one also was a carrier but didn't show, and then this one would have been dominant, and then we remaining with this one here, and this one was actually was an albino. So we can see it is 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, so which is about 70 or 3/4, so which will be about 75%. Which of the following list of organisms consists of only vertebrates? Only vertebrates. So talking about those with bones, or those with the backbone. So we can talk about birds. They do have bones. Reptiles, yes they do. Fish, yes. And mammals. Okay, so see, I've got birds, fish, reptiles, and protozoa. So I think wherever there's protozoa we can cancel arthropods, birds, reptiles, and mammals. I don't think arthropods have bones, so we can go for D. An experiment was carried out to investigate the drainage of 3 different types of soil, samples X, Y, and Z. Same amount of each type of soil was placed in a funnel. Same volume of water was poured into the funnels. The experiment was allowed to stand for 1 hour. The diagram shows results of the experiment. So we've got X measuring cylinder, Y had more water compared to X, Z had the least amount of water. Which of the following identifies the different types of soil samples? The one which allowed water mostly should have been between clay, loam and sand. Should be sand, right? So Y should be sand. The least to allow water should be clay. That's all. Should be clay. So which is Z should be clay or Z. So Z should be clay. Y should be sand. X should be loam soil. So C is the answer. 37. The figure shows a food web in a given ecosystem. You've got the vulture feeding on a bird, human feeding on cabbage, rabbit and bird, and lion feeding on rabbit. So the question says, how many herbivores are there in this food web? So those which eat vegetables only. So I think we have a grasshopper, the rabbit. Human being is an omnivore. Human beings are omnivores, meaning they eat both vegetation and meat. So we can go with 2, rabbit and grasshopper. The following are factors that can cause a change in the human population, except diseases can cause a change in the human population. Earthquakes, yes, they can cause a change. People can go out, they can come in, or they can die. Immigration, we talk about people coming in, yes, it can cause that. Number of species doesn't give us any information about any reasonable explanation. So this one cannot cause a change in human population. 39. The diagram shows the carbon cycle. We've got A, atmospheric carbon dioxide being converted taken by green plants. Then B, prehistoric plants form deposits of coal, petroleum, natural gas. Okay. Then atmospheric carbon dioxide. Then D, okay, animals convert plant materials into animal tissue. Atmospheric release carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Which of the labeled processes removes carbon dioxide from the atmosphere? I think this is a straightforward part. Which removes carbon from the atmosphere? Got atmospheric carbon dioxide. Okay, so the only way, green plants. This C contributes, D contributes, right? And A takes. So A will qualify, removes. So let me know your option in the comment section below, or we can discuss. So what is the negative effect of overuse of fertilizers in a farm near a stream? So we do have a biology book available for you. All the notes are available, and you can buy this book. If you're seeing this video, definitely the book should cost you around 100 kwacha or so. So it's available. You can buy the book by clicking or the WhatsApp link below. You send a message and the book will be sent to you. It's a hard copy book, and all the notes have been put into this book. You won't need any other book for biology. So basically the one that I use for teaching, it was prepared by us here at Euclide Academy, and it is one that I would recommend for you to use as you study biology. And all in all, as we wrap up, I want to leave this question 40 to you, to encourage you to participate and not just be a spectator. So what is the negative effect of overuse of fertilizers in a farm land near a stream? Okay, is it acid rain formation, eutrophication, global warming, or soil erosion? So let's discuss this question in the comment section below. You can post your answer and let's come up with the best possible answer or option. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.